I'm here with James Belding of Tokenized, the winner of the CoinGeek £5 million contest. Congratulations, James.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you here today. And we know that your thesis is to have a standardized global ledger. Can you tell me how you plan to do this with Tokenized and how you're going to fulfill this vision?
I see the Bitcoin Cash or the Bitcoin SV ledger as a huge opportunity to standardize a lot of the business communication that goes on throughout the world. So with EDI, for example, you got purchase orders, invoices, shipping notices, things like that, but also contracts, agreements, and that extends to smart contracts, which is something that's new and innovative, I think, and something that really benefits from the Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV blockchain. So what I've done is I've basically created an open source protocol that defines all the important pieces to make that happen. So anyone who wants to get involved and start using it for their company, they don't have to do any thinking. It's basically all laid out, all the metadata. They just got to fill in all the things that are meaningful to them. So, yeah.
Very good. And the concept of smart contracts and tokenizing all this is familiar to people that have been in the crypto industry for a while because of blockchains like Ethereum, etc. Can you just summarize for us why Tokenized is a superior solution to what's out there today already?
Sure. So Tokenized, I think, correctly addresses what the actual users want. And it takes advantage of that understanding to make it the cheapest possible solution without any compromise to the values, the utility for the users, right? So you got issuers and you got investors on the other side, but you also have customers of issuers, right? So we're ticket holders or whatever, they have a company that they're buying tickets from. So we really looked at what an issuer wanted out of a token system and smart contracts, and we looked at what a user would want or an investor would want. And we really drilled down and we considered the law, we considered the regulatory side of things and all the components they need to have. And what we found was like the likes of Ethereum, which is a fully decentralized smart contract platform, was unnecessarily expensive with no value added, right? You don't need that decentralized component because ultimately issuers and regulators need some control over recognizing and enforcing property rights. And when we recognized that, when we decided to go for a different model where you had an off-chain smart contract, which could be much, much cheaper, much more efficient, and actually much more expressive. And then if you look at the risks and the bugs that Ethereum contracts have shown to have over the last little while, we can actually make the thing a lot more secure as well. So in every box, every component that you'd consider this thing, it's better, I believe, and most importantly, it's what users and issuers want. So.
Excellent, excellent. For people that don't necessarily follow the crypto world every single day and don't really understand what smart contracts are, can you give us a practical example of how the world at large can use Tokenized?
Sure. So, I mean, shares, for example, is a great one where you have a shareholder agreement, and in a public company, you want to trade that a lot, right? So you have people that are shareholders who then trade those rights to someone else. So the other person becomes a shareholder in exchange for money. Well, that is really a bookkeeping exercise, right? You're just re-registering a new name and deregistering another name. Well, you can use a smart contract to do that in a really efficient, cheap way. And it adds a lot of value when you use it on the immutable blockchain. The public, uncensorable, reliable, the nature that the blockchain brings, the value that the public Bitcoin thing brings is really important when you're talking about cross-border transactions, people investing from China, let's say, in America or vice versa. It removes a sense of uncertainty and trust that you have to place in the private databases that you'd normally have to at the stock exchanges. So a lot of value to be had there. I guess another example would be tickets. Yeah. So movie tickets, even admission tickets, conference tickets. You know, you could do radically cheaper, for sure, compared to what you can do now. So if you look at Ticketmaster and all those companies, the fees are atrocious when you consider what's possible now. And we can do much, much, much better, and also a lot easier. The experience can be a lot better. So, yeah.
Excellent, James. Well, we love your work at CoinGeek, and thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.